welcome to Caldenberg Consulting TV. I am your host, Brian Caldenberg. We've got the Pepsi can here. I've been really impressed with Pepsi, what they did in the last couple of weeks, not advertising in the Super Bowl, because they decided that they don't see that as a wise return on investment anymore, and they think that their audience is more on the digital side of things. And so props to Pepsi. Excellent move, and more corporations, more big companies are going to follow. But today we're not going to talk about internet marketing. We're not going to talk about advertising or anything like that. Last episode we talked about the importance of hiring a web developer who has internet marketing expertise. Really, I don't even want to call it hiring a web developer. Let's go ahead and call it hiring an internet marketing consultant or hiring internet marketing expertise. And today what we're going to talk about is, if you've got that in place now in your business, what's the next most important thing you need to do? And really, we thought about it, and it's installing a tracking software. And the one that I recommend is Google Analytics, because if you don't have a tracking software, if you don't have Google Analytics installed on your website, you're pretty much flying blind. You cannot see anything. You cannot see who's coming to your website, where they're coming from as far as what keywords they're typing in. Are they coming directly? Did someone write an article about you on CNN and you're getting a lot of traffic from CNN? Without tracking software on your site, you have no idea of seeing what's actually happening. And if you're going to be doing advertising, Google Analytics plays a very important role in helping you determine which advertising mediums that you're spending money in are actually generating a return on investment. And so Google Analytics is a great tool. Once you get your website in tip-top shape, you need to get Google Analytics installed. Some of the great things that Google Analytics will show you are where the person came from. It'll even go all the way down to the city they came from. What keyword they typed in. Did they come from a Google search, a Yahoo search, an MSN search, a Bing search, and exactly what keyword they typed in. Did they come from Facebook? Did they come from Twitter? What pages, when they were on your site, did they view? How long were they on your site? How many pages did they view on your site? But the most exciting thing is, this data is all great and this data is important, but let's say your goal is you're trying to sell a widget. And you're spending $300 a day on Google advertising selling widgets. And you've got all these different keywords that you think people are typing in when they're looking for your widget. If you hook in the e-commerce aspect into Google Analytics, you can actually see, okay, we spent $300 a day on Google. These are all the keywords that we got traffic from. These are the keywords that led to sales. This is the return on investment for each keyword. So you can actually trace the sale all the way back upstream to the originating keyword. And same thing goes if you're doing Facebook advertising, if you're doing just Twitter, if you're doing blogging, if you send an email campaign out, you can actually code the links that are coming off that email campaign back to your website. You can code them so that data will filter into Google Analytics, and you can see, okay, we sent our March newsletter out, we pushed our free shipping on widget X, and that led to 22 sales. You can see all that in Google Analytics. So as an internet marketing consultant, that's one of the first things that we do, is we want to make sure that your site has Google Analytics installed on it. And then if you're going to do any sort of advertising or anything online, you have to have Google Analytics, because otherwise there's no way to really see what's effective and what's not. So that's the great thing if you're selling things, but maybe you're a restaurant, or maybe you are a consulting company like us. You're not actually taking money online. You're trying to generate leads online, though. So you might have a sign-up form, or you might have a video with a sign-up form underneath. And when they sign up, they go to a thank you page. And you're spending $300 a day on Google again for, let's say, the keyword e-commerce consulting, or let's say the keyword Chicago lawn care, or Denver, Colorado dentist. These are services that people aren't going to be spending any money online, but you still are trying to get them into your business to do business with you. So what you can do here is when they fill out the form, they go to that thank you page. You can set that thank you page up in Google Analytics as a goal. And obviously, if you're spending money on Chicago lawn care, people are coming to your website, you're trying to get them to fill out a form. Maybe they get a 20% off coupon if they fill out this form, and then they go to the thank you page. It's in your best interest to know still which keywords are leading traffic to the form and then converting, and these people are filling out the form and going to the thank you page. And you can see, okay, last month, these are all the keywords we advertised on. These are the keywords that led to the thank you pages. And then you can maybe remove some of the keywords that didn't do very well and add more money, up your bid on the keywords that did do well. So Google Analytics is a very important part. It's one of the most important parts of any successful internet marketing campaign. And as we'll get into further, any successful internet marketing campaign is constantly improving. It's constantly testing, gathering data, and then using that data collected to make improvements to the campaign. And without Google Analytics, you are dead on the internet, because guess what? Your competitors are also spending money online. They're spending money on Google. They're spending money on Facebook. They're spending money in a lot of places, and they're using Google Analytics, and they're using the data that it provides to fine-tune their campaign. And if you go too long without making any improvements, you're going to be spending way too much money, and you're going to be having to charge much more for your product or service, and you're going to wonder why competitor X over here is able to do that. That's always the funniest thing I hear people say. There's a business or somebody, and they always say, "Well, that other business, I don't know. They do it for so cheap. I don't know how they're in business." But you look 5 years later, that other business is still there, still doing it for really cheap, and oftentimes has gotten a lot bigger than the other business sitting there complaining about how they can do it for so cheap. And maybe it's because they have a very effective advertising model in place. And so Google Analytics is the backbone to a very effective internet marketing campaign, and it's a must-have. So Google Analytics, guys, if you're going to start a website, you need to install it. What you do is you sign up at google.com. They'll give you a little piece of code that you can either install on your website, or if you have a developer like us, you can just send us the code and we'll install it for you. And if you were our client, we would install it from the get-go, so you wouldn't even have to worry about it. But I just wanted to stress the importance of Google Analytics. There's a couple other tracking softwares out there. Sometimes your hosting company will provide data, and then also there is a I forget the name. There's another really big one, Urchin it's called, and that costs a lot of money. It's a little more powerful than Google Analytics, but Google Analytics it's powerful enough. I know people who are doing over $1 million a month in sales, and Google Analytics is what they're using to track all their stuff. So Google Analytics is probably your best bet. But anyways, thanks for watching. Question of the day: what do you think is would be a good average time on site for your website? Google Analytics will show you that. They'll show you the average time on site that a visitor stays. You might be surprised, but what do you think is a good average time on site? Give me your answers, and I'll answer them in the comments. And guys, don't be a lurker. If you're watching this video and you have a question, or you want to tell me I'm a retard, tell me this show sucks, I don't care. I just want comments, preferably constructive comments, and we can help you. If you have a question, if you are interested in something we talk about, please ask, and we'll do our best to answer it. So thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.